how are you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Peggy.
You're watching the Junction Fiber Mill Millcast, and it is Monday, August 14th. I was thinking I had my head in September for a minute.
I got to remember to wish my sister happy birthday. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Happy birthday, Peggy sister.
Yes. Hey, Liza. Millcast 40.
I know.
That's kind of a milestone-ish.
Yeah.
40.
By the next big milestone, we'll be hitting almost a year.
That's right. Well, yeah. Wow. So cool. Anyway, we're glad you're joining us. And
yes, thanks
absolutely,
for being here.
We always seem to do a little bit of a weather report. It's a spectacular day here today.
It is very sunny. It's cool in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a little bit of heat coming later, but we love it.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did a lot of social things. I caught up with a lot of friends that, you know, summer I feel like just comes upon you, and there's like vacations, and then all of a sudden you haven't seen half the people in your life for months. So I got together with some friends. I did a little bit of hiking.
Great.
Ate some good food, and it was nice.
Excellent. Any knitting?
Yeah, I actually did do some knitting. And I'll talk about that later.
Okay. All right. I had a great weekend. A great time. We drove over to the Conway, New Hampshire area. And if you're familiar at all with sort of Vermont to New Hampshire, there's this just amazing road called the Kankamangas, locally referred to as the Kank. And it wasn't too crowded because sometimes it gets like wacky,
especially when they have like motorcycle weekends.
Yeah, right. And it's a road that goes over the White Mountains over to Conway, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And what we decided to do, since we were going to go to Conway, we continued on through Freiburg and went to Bridgton, Maine. Was only an extra half hour to visit Good Karma, which is a yarn shop. Yeah, a yarn shop right on the main drag in Bridgton. But their mill is behind the store, and I wanted to go over there because I'm in the search. I'm on the hunt for a bulky knitting machine for a lot of reasons that include the mill. I think there's some things we could have some fun with. But it was really fun to see Jim and Amy Grant. And they have the exact same spinner as we have, so we talked shop. Yeah. And Todd was terrific. He knows enough about our equipment, so he knew what we were talking about. Yeah. But when we were there for like 90 minutes, and as I left, I said, "Todd, wasn't that great?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." He was being a good sport. Yeah. And we had our two dogs with us, and Todd said, "We've got dogs in the car," and they were like, let them come on in. So Kiki and Jack were wandering around in the mill as we were talking and comparing notes. We don't get a chance to visit mills and sort of see kind of how they do things a little differently. Yeah, we see them
at like fiber festivals.
Right.
But it's nice to actually be in the space and to see like what are they doing versus
how they set things up.
Get inspiration. And they've been at it for a lot longer than us at Good Karma. Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah. If you're ever at fiber festivals, Jim is the one with the circular sock machine.
Yes, he's like known whipping out those socks, and he has like a whole collection from antique to modern, and he has classes. So if you're interested in learning how to own and work a sock knitting machine, Jim's your guy. Good Karma in Bridgton, Maine. Yeah, we'll link it.
And Bridgton, Maine has become quite the tourist.
I've never been.
Oh, it's charming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
Sweet.
It's really lovely. Anyway, that's what we're doing, and then we should catch up because in theory we were going to do our last Millcast from the Cape,
but things got a little bit tossed around, and I ended up going. But Peg stayed here to run the mill, and the reason was the pin drafter we were going down to look at wasn't quite operational, so we wanted to, just send one of us ahead to give it a look. So I went down. Took one for the team and hung out on the Cape for a few days.
Yes, tough work if you can.
So I checked out the pin drafter, and it basically looks very similar to the one we have. It's just in a little bit more of a fixer-upper state than ours. So we are sort of thinking through what that would mean if we wanted to get this piece of machinery, and we're kind of waiting for the owner to get it back online so we can see it working.
Yeah, fundamentally, does it clickety-clack, and then right now it doesn't click or clack. So
but in theory it should. It's just sort of sat around unused for some years, and so they're figuring it out.
And just to be clear, pin drafters are very hard to come by. We've done a tour on a previous Millcast.
Yep. You've seen the pin drafter.
They're not being manufactured in the United States, and most of the ones that we all covet are 1940s, 50s, 60s, and I think in the 70s they were discontinued. It was Warner Swayze is the brand. Yep. People are always looking for parts. So if you can find one that's working, want to grab it. And that's what we want to do, because when we add the new spinner, we're going to need more pin drafting capacity.
Yeah, the bottleneck sort of moves up the flow.
Yeah,
a little
right,
bit.
exactly.
So we either have to have people pin drafting around the clock, or get a second pin drafter that we can run simultaneous to our first one. So,
having said that, though, we are also waiting, and it could happen any moment. We're waiting for a skein winder to get delivered that we bought a secondhand one from Michigan, Stonehenge Fiber Mill. Deb McDermott, thank you. But I'll tell you, and you had this experience in a much bigger way of moving equipment from point A to point B. So this new used skein winder will be able to do 8. Our current one can only do 5. And again, when we have the new spinner, we're going to have more bobbins that need to get emptied. Trying to arrange for it to get picked up in East Jordan, Michigan, and delivered to White River Junction, Vermont. It's not an easy task. It weighs 400 pounds. It's 81 inches long. And I never knew this word before, but the truck needs to have a lift gate, and that's the thing that drops down, lowers, so
like
that,
a little elevator, so they can
right. So you can use your portable forklift to lift the piece up, put it on the lift gate, then it rises up and it goes in. Well, the first go round, the truck got to East Jordan, didn't have a lift gate, so that didn't work. So now it's been picked up and with a lift gate, and is supposed to get delivered with a lift gate
anytime,
any moment here
on Monday. So we might get interrupted.
Yeah,
that would be exciting if it arrived live. But if it doesn't, we'll make sure to get some footage.
Yeah, but we've seen what we know it works. Where it's a good piece of equipment, and
it'll be great. Again, it's sort of helping alleviate the bottleneck somewhere else.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So look forward to that.
Yep. We have an update on dyeing, thanks to you all and your kind suggestions.
So the problem has been that when the fire marshal told us we couldn't continue our meth lab outside with propane.
Wasn't a meth
lab. Brought it inside and started using these induction stoves, the square ones. I think people are becoming very familiar with them. The challenge is that the surface is only about 9 inches, and it gets hot as all get out, and wool is like an insulator, so it takes quite a long time for the heat to get up to really heat our making tracks roving that we've dyed. And it was tending to burn on the bottom. So in a prior Millcast I shared, we did rocks, pie plates, you name it. And the suggestions on that Millcast were just terrific. One of them was brick fire pit, which is actually an interesting one. But the winner, the one that I was like, oh, wait a minute, silicone mats or pads. I couldn't find a round one with a big enough diameter. So
I actually think layering 2 is probably helping us out even more.
Absolutely. So we put them in the bottom in this shape, like
and
that.
And they're light, and they're not going to explode on us.
They're not going to explode. Love the warning of, you're using Pyrex. It'll explode on you, which would be not good, but if it exploded, it would have 5 pounds of wet wool on top of it.
We were literally putting a convex, whatever, a bowl upside down with liquid and possibly air trapped under it, under all this wool.
So it had potential to be a problem.
So this is not going to explode.
But we've used this for about a week, maybe a little more, and it's really worked. And I've ordered another, so we have 4 of these.
Yep.
But we'd like to have it, and they just arrived.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. I apologize.
It would be even better if they made this that was like a honeycomb shaped, like a trivet that was like an inch thick honeycomb. If anyone has links on that, that would be great. The smaller round one is a little honeycombed, but it was really pretty small. Yeah,
it was more like a trivet.
Yeah, if I could design this, so if someone could 3D print it, it could be like a nice round, fill the whole bottom of the pot, and it would be like honeycomb shaped silicone, like an inch thick.
But I don't think you can do, I don't think you can do silicone with 3D printers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's straight up plastic.
But
for right now,
these are doing good.
Yeah,
really
pretty good solution. So again, thank you, and I apologize I didn't write down your name on the Millcast who suggested it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So we've been busy.
Yeah, we are just now switching over back to making tracks after doing custom processing for almost 3 weeks now.
Right.
So here we've got some 3-ply to show off. 3 different natural sheepy colors.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what this is?
This is Shetland. Yeah, 3-ply, spun up in 3-ply, and I just love it. Obviously, they're all talking to each other.
Yeah.
God, it would make just a gorgeous sweater with a yoke.
Like a fair isle
exactly.
something or other.
Yeah.
I love the natural darks too. So you can tell it's from a farm. It's still got a little VM in there that, you can tell it's local.
Yeah. No,
so
it looks
this
good.
is our custom processing that we will have that available for the customer very soon. But I didn't bring it on the Millcast, but I did just want to plug. We do also have some Shetland on the website too.
That's right.
3-ply, also 3 natural colors. So I saw this, I was like, wait, is that our Shetland?
Yeah.
So we
pretty darn similar, but
very similar. So we also have some Shetland on our website if you want to check it out.
I don't know how many shades. Shetland come in a lot of different shades.
Yeah. I think it's sort of like Icelandics. That's like what people like about them. You get all these little sheep, all these different colors.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun to work with and see.
Yeah.
And, similar to your Corriedale though too. You end up with like 5-6 colors of those guys too.
Yeah, although Morit, which is kind of the brown, is a specific gene, and in my case, our Corriedale, we had Morit, but with the new rams we've been using for the last several years, they don't have the Morit gene, and slowly but surely, Morit has disappeared from our flock.
And how do you feel, are you interested in reintroducing it?
Not right now, because I love the rams that we're getting have such a fine fleece, and that's really what we're interested is getting finer and finer Corriedale. Yeah. And in fact, we're going back for a 3rd ram from the same farm in September. Boy, is September going to be wacky. Yep. Anyway, that's the story on the Morits. Yeah.
Well, lest we think that people thought we forget about the knit-along.
Yeah, the knit-along.
This is the time we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm having a lot of fun seeing the pictures coming in. Holy mackerel. There's some really creative things going on.
I was really glad to hear from my mother-in-law, Natalie, this weekend, who I told her, go ahead and try it. She just started knitting like a year ago.
Right.
After we started the mill, I got her a little kit for Christmas. She knitted up. It was great. And then, so she's familiar with, knits and pearls and pretty basic stuff. This was, I thought it would be a little bit of a stretch, but I have to say I was so relieved and glad to hear that she cast on with the help of folks at her local knitting store. She got together with her group of women there, and they're sitting there, and she's getting advice about wrap and turn, and she had YouTubed it a bunch, but it was just having someone sit next to her. Yeah. So I think she's gonna be successful. She's got
go Natalie! Go Natalie!
But I was like, oh boy, did I put her is she gonna be frustrated? Did I throw her in the deep end? Because the pattern says it's for advanced or whatever.
Adventuresome beginners. Yeah.
Adventuresome novices.
Novices.
But it's definitely a stretch for a new knitter, but I have confidence in her. I do think the pattern truly is not that difficult. It just is a little paint by numbers. You gotta focus. Yeah. You gotta pay attention. You gotta make sure that those M's mean markers and count their markers and all that. But anyways, so just a little shout out to my mother-in-law, and
fantastic.
Can't wait to keep seeing you going on that.
Yeah.
But we also had interest within our little staff here about doing the knit-along, and so we opened it up to them as well, and provided yarn and the patterns. And so Liz, who you guys have not met yet, she's working part-time at the mill these days, helping out with sort of the non-big heavy machine skills. She's on the pin drafter sometimes. So anyways, Liz came, brought her Tørkle, and we sat down out back and had a look. Sure. Liz, thank you for coming on the Millcast.
My pleasure.
You're here to, first of all, everybody, Liz works at the mill. We didn't really announce this, but we sort of increased staffing a little bit leading up to Rhinebeck, and it's been super helpful to have Liz help with things like scouring and labeling and dyeing and sort of the non-spinnery parts of the mill.
Yes.
So how's that been going?
It's great. I like learning a new skill. I learned to use the picker the other day, so that was pretty exciting. Just a little bit different, but it's pretty cool. It's amazing to be working, with the yarn, from start to finish. As a avid knitter, it's really cool to see the raw wool and all the different steps and how many steps it takes to make beautiful yarn. So then I can justify the cost of handmade yarn.
Yeah, there is an employee discount. And part of what we thought would be fun when Peg and I started this knit-along idea was to get staff involved with the knit-along. So you've brought your Tørkle and you're going to show it off.
So this is how how far I've got. It's been really cool. I'm using Daybreak, which is pretty cool.
I love that color.
And this is the
Montedale Cheviot dyed rust color.
Yes. So, and I just thought they looked great together, and I'm really enjoying how all these little sections, how with watching the color change, and I was a little bit wasn't sure about doing lots of tails, but I decided I'm just going to cut it and weave them in, as opposed to having long floats. But I did the colored markers, which was very helpful to know, and I have a little key code, know which one is 6 left, and so it's been really fun. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, I love where the Daybreak has like the little bit of yellow in it. I think that's really fun, and you start off with like the high contrast, which is also very cool.
That's what I mean, some of it is lower contrast, but I actually kind of like how subtle it is, and I think that when I complete it, it's going to really really pop. And I made the decision also not to do the individual bobbins to match on either side, because
you're doing variation A here.
I'm doing variation A, so I just want to see how each little section comes out, and wait for my I've got my next skein. So see, and I chose one that was a little bit different because I wanted it to kind of be exciting, and so that's it.
That's great. Well, thank you for showing us.
My pleasure. I can't wait to get back to it.
Yeah, I know. I've sort of said to everybody, we need to slow down on knitting, because I feel like it's like a page turner of a knit. You kind of just want to get to the next section.
You could do, once you start one of those sections, that's exactly it. You just kind of like, oh wait, I just want to keep on going back and forth, like slow down.
I know. And I'm only doing variation B, so mine I'm like pretty close to the end, but I wanted to stretch it out at least like a month or so.
Well, I think this just means that people can do more than one.
I know. It's
so maybe you do variation A, then you decide to do B.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So,
all right, thanks, Liz.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right.
Yeah. So she's, I think I had to tell her to slow it down a little bit, because she is an incredibly prolific knitter.
Yeah, she's an incredible knitter.
Yes.
Yeah. We have a couple that are, I'm going to be honest with you, better knitters than I am. Liz
for
is.
Sure.
Vicky is. Ooh.
Yeah, we go to them and say, what are people knitting?
Yeah, right. Or techniques or whatever.
Yeah. And Liz actually sat down with me last week, and we went through Ravelry and tried to look at ways we could be a little more savvy on Ravelry, because we know we're still learning there.
Right, and she knows Ravelry.
She does know Ravelry, so look out for us to be a little more savvy there someday.
Yeah.
I have to say,
first show the bag. This is adorable.
Yeah, this is a cute little bag. I got this for Christmas, I think, from my sister-in-law, Anna. It's from Fringe Supply Co.
Oh.
I think they're mostly online. I don't know if they're at festivals, but it's got this cute little leather wristlet.
Yeah.
Very simple. I usually don't make things small enough to be contained in this, so I was happy to have a project to use it, because the rest of my project bags are also full of projects.
Yeah.
Can I show it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my. Oh, you did the, oh, this is adorable.
Yes, I haven't blocked it, but I finished this last night.
Oh, I love
and
this.
Then
This
it
is in the
immediately
clearing.
got stolen by Maeve.
Here, do you take an end? Look at that. Isn't that great?
I had so much fun with it, and I'm so proud I even managed to weave in my ends while watching my daughter at the same time. Felt like a pro mom.
Really great. I love in the clearing.
There's like a couple things that I wanted to say about this.
Okay.
I did the wraps wrong.
What?
Because I didn't, and when Ona came on and was talking about it, I was like, that is not how I am doing them. So the way that I wrapped, and I think you can see, I don't know, we'll have to look at yours, is you can see there's like a little dot.
Oh.
I don't know that everyone's has that, and that's my bad, because what I was doing, and I'll show you, you can kind of see there's like little spots at every end of the contrasting colors.
Okay.
So what I was doing is I was getting to the end of the row, knitting, putting my yarn in front.
Oh, yeah.
Slipping it off, putting it around back, turning my work, and then putting it around. So I did a full wrap.
Yeah.
But
no,
I
take it off purl-wise, then bring it forward, then,
So I decided, at least I knew I was doing it wrong, but I couldn't see that it was that much affecting it.
No.
So I was consistent. But I'm just admitting it here. I did it wrong. But other than that, I think it looks Fantastic. And I'll show off my long floats. I still don't think they're that big of a problem. So I just didn't cut.
Yep.
And that's what
And so you're hoping they'll kind of,
I think
as you
they'll felt
tie
in, and if it is a problem, I'm just gonna take sewing thread and just go, like sort of tack them down.
Yeah.
Because they are quite long in
Yeah.
places, but it saved a lot of time. I only had like 8 ends to weave in, so.
So I'm working on mine. I'm doing the one that's the full.
Yes.
I was going to say the full Monty. We all know that's a little inappropriate. Okay.
Variation A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to admit.
Oh, this is a me admission.
No,
also.
it's me. No, it's you. No, it's me.
It's me.
I printed it, and I'm going about my business, knitting on the thing.
Sure.
And then at one point, Amanda makes clear to us, all the staff, that
I messed up.
well, it wasn't. Well, you want to.
I printed an outdated version, and it was like way outdated, well before the knit along even started. I'm not a savvy Ravelry user, so though there was a big update me pattern, and we all have like a shared staff pattern.
Okay.
I did not press the update button. I just printed off an old copy.
How would one know?
It's a big button, Peg, but I'm just like, here's the pattern. I'm gonna print, and we got emails when they were updated. So this is a lesson in like update your patterns, and it didn't hit me because Variation B I think didn't really get any changes.
Okay.
But Variation A
absolutely did. And so just to go in the weeds for a moment.
And wait, just before everyone else freaks out, when you got your kit from us, you got the updated version from Ravelry because they just sent the updated version.
Okay.
So it's only our staff that were having some confusing.
And I'm probably the only one that got totally confused because I thought it was because of one correction that had been pointed out, and I was like, oh, I'm not even there yet. I'm just going to keep knitting. Well, it turns out there. So I have, and this is.
Wait, don't show it close up though.
No. I wrote for myself right on it. This is the new one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to discuss with you offline. I won't bore you to tears. I think I'm in good shape, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
So.
It looks fabulous.
It's hard. So there's the center. I've done the big.
So we were on similar pacing because you're like, if you had done this version, you'd be just about done.
Right. This is that sort of centerpiece.
Yeah.
But this is what am I knitting with? Leaf peeping.
No, you're knitting with pumpkin patch.
Oh, I'm sorry, pumpkin patch. Yeah. So these are the different colors that you can see coming through, and then I'm doing Savage Art Farm charcoal.
Yep.
And I'm just really loving. So this is. It takes mine is going to take 2 skeins.
Yeah, and I'll say
so
mine.
I'm doing these 2 colors together.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I'm not carrying the float, so I have lots of little danglies on one end that I'll have to weave in. But there's one section right in. I stopped because I wanted to consult with you that something I'm not sure is right. But anyway, I'll keep going. I'm feeling great about it, and hopefully at the next Millcast. I'll be done. Are you seeing that? Am I showing the right side? Yeah.
Yeah, you're showing the right side.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, I hope you guys are having fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty easy, there's certain points where you
got a stitch coming off.
Oh, thank you.
We need those things that this woman from our retreat had with like needle keepers. I don't use them either.
Yeah, I just try to remember did I lose a stitch?
I think you're okay. I think we caught it.
Okay.
Guys.
Anyway, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'll say, even so, if you do Variation B, you still have a lot of yarn left over. This is my daughter.
Would you have enough to do another?
No. Well, I think it was very close. So one of our customers, Francesca, came to the open house. She had just finished her Variation A, and she was sort of hoping she could eke it out of one skein for the full.
Yeah.
And she said it was pretty close to be. So it really is a lot of extra yarn for the like you will probably break into that next skein, but not by much.
Okay.
But even for this, so I saw on Instagram, I don't remember the person's handle this morning, someone had posted a photo of their Variation B that they made, and then they also made, Ona's got like a smaller pattern. It has a different name, but she had enough left over from just the 2 skeins from Variation B to do the small version too.
Oh, cute.
Super cute. And I'm thinking maybe I should do one because I like immediately gave this to Maeve to play with because she was like interested, and I put it on her and she just modeled it. Of course. I didn't take a video, of course, but she's just like modeling it, playing with it. I think she wants to sleep with it. So I was like, I gotta make her own little match.
I love it. Oh,
but I have
and
this
then
much
is that
left.
going to be like a mother-daughter?
Totally, it's just gonna be disgusting. But yeah, this is what happens when you're not watching your kid. And she just pulled so I got to figure out how to salvage this. But
you'll get it.
And then I've got this much left farm fresh. So I'm going to have another project
Great.
on my hands. Yeah. Can never have enough natural cream, though, I think.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's good. That's
yeah.
Good. All right.
Well, we've got some exciting events coming up.
Yeah.
August is, we don't really do much in August, but September, we're sort of like starting to be off to the races, and starting with our open house. Yeah. That's going to be September 1st, Labor Day weekend.
The Friday of Labor Day weekend from 3 to 5. You're going to do that on your own because I'm headed to Saratoga.
On vacation.
Yeah. Well, leaving early at least.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll be holding the fort down.
Yep.
And that'll be great. So mark that in your calendars if you're going to be in the area Labor Day weekend.
That's
that
the
Friday.
best time to stop by the mill is the open house.
Yeah.
By far.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then after that, we're going to Italy, folks.
Amanda and I are going to Italy to learn how to use our new spinner.
We saw a picture. It's so pretty. It's sitting
great.
there in Biella.
So Amanda loves to make travel plans. Yeah, and I'm like, sure, you want to do all the booking? That's no problem. But I have to say, she comes in the next day and she goes, hey, Peg, we're going to have to do one night in Milan before we fly back. How would you feel about staying at a hostel?
We're not going to. We're going to find an Airbnb.
A hostel?
It'll be fun.
I did come around. I said, hey, if you want, I've slept in a bunk before. I've slept on the third level of a bunk, but I thought that was pretty hilarious.
I have not slept in a hostel since I was like 22, but it would be one for the memories. But I think we probably would be better suited to.
We'll let you know what happens. But yeah, we're flying in and out of Milan, but we're actually in the town of Biella. And the company is Ramella.
Yeah.
So
it is the Italian home and probably one of the global homes of wool and wool production. They've been at it since the 1200s. Wow. So it is known for that. It's no surprise they're in Biella. I think Italians and people who know the Italian topography and whatever.
Well, hopefully we'll have some downtime to do a little exploring and see if there's anything that captures that history.
I just want some really good pizza and pasta.
Oh. Are they known for their pizza in that area?
I don't know. I did see somebody posted on, this is when I get into the booking.com and I'm looking at hotels. Yeah. Someone said from our hotel there was the best pizza of their life in walking distance.
No,
so
I want the pasta and I want the sauces.
Yes.
Anyway.
It'll be fun. I'm actually doing my Duolingo right now on Italian. It's going very slowly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll survive.
Bonjour. No, that's French.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I'm going to be screwed. Well, that's what Google translates.
All I can tell you is how to say, the woman eats the apple right now. That's where they start you on Duolingo. So.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
La donna, is it bebe? La mela. Or sure. Could have said that she drank it, but you put me on the spot.
Anyway, that's less than a month away though.
I know. Yeah. Well, I figure something is something.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So that's the news from the mill here.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.